Hey, how you doing? This is Kitch, and you are watching me play Factorio. I had originally intended to start this episode off with a time-lapse of me going around and making a whole bunch of outposts, and I made a couple of them. But then I noticed this green line, this green circuit line, and how it was looking somewhat pitiful. And I was a little bit confused because I did have copper and I did have iron over here. So I investigated it further and then found a nightmare. We got a little bit of copper contamination in our iron line. And by a little bit, I mean quite a bit, actually. And it's not just here. It is everywhere. And it took me a while to figure out exactly what was going on. I mean, we've got copper everywhere. We've got it in the mall. We've got it in our gear makers. Everywhere that there's iron, there's also copper. Right now, we're not making any sulfuric acid, for example. So yeah, it's a big mess. And I was thinking maybe did I mine a patch or something, but eventually I figured it out. At least I think I figured it out. I haven't 100% confirmed it, but I feel like I have a pretty good idea what was happening here. So yeah, let's just throw this station down here. That's my station blueprint. I've been using it the whole game, basically. And I think I've had a couple of close calls with it. But I made a copper outpost down here just to help supplement this one, which is kind of looking fairly pitiful right now. And this one to feed our module making facility down here. And then I made this one up here because we were starting to run a little low on copper here in the main base. And the problem is that this station right here, by default, I kept the station name when I made the blueprint, and it's called Pickup Iron. So when this station up here was placed down, it was called Pickup Iron. And it just so happens that this pickup iron here is a little bit closer to base than the real pickup irons up here. So I think I had a train sneak in here while this was on before I renamed the stations, grab a load of copper, and take it back to base. And it may have been one train. It may have been couple trains. I'm not sure, but in either case, that's I think the source of our problem there. So the lesson I learned here is to never name a station anything real. Even if you want to keep if you want to copy the name to kind of give you a shortcut, be sure to do something to distinguish it from all your active stations out there. So I probably not going to use this station much anymore. I think we're going to be using much bigger stations. But let's go ahead and fix the problem, just in case it ever happens again. What I'm going to do is go ahead and set this equal to all the things that could potentially be picked up by this station. And I guess uranium could be on there, but I don't foresee us needing another one of those anytime soon. And then I'm just going to copy this across. This one's actually going to be a stop. All right, we'll do that. And then whenever we place this down, we can just edit the station and remove all of these guys except for the one that the station actually is. And since we're fixing things, let's go ahead and turn these into stack inserters, something that I've always wanted to do. And it seems like there's that right there. Let's go ahead and fix that. We may not even use this station again, but if we do, it'll be ready to go. So let's get this out of our blueprint book. See, is there anything else in here? Yeah, no, those are all pretty much good. Let's clear that blueprint out. We will retake the blueprint. Keep the station names. Confirm. And let's put that back into our book. All right, that should be good to go now. All right, so all I have to do now is clean up all of this copper. And yeah, boy, there's a lot of it. I mean, it's in the steel furnaces. It's everywhere. There's probably something to be said about always filtering cargo wagons and maybe using filter inserters at train stops to prevent that problem as well. I don't know. It's just like I always have this thought that, you know, it's not going to be necessary. We're never going to do that. And it's rare. It's very rare, but it does happen. Let's see. Let's throw these miners in here in this belt. Left over from my unsuccessful outposting time lapse. We're still going to do that, by the way. Yeah, just not quite yet. All right, I want to get this station figured out and finished up, and I want to take all this out because that's just silly. All of this is silly. Actually, we probably need to leave that. What I want to do is take this station right here. I do not want to deconstruct it, though. I want to cut it. Do we have those chests? It looks like it. Yeah, we'll just take this station here, cut it, and then turn it 180 degrees. And now this should make it to where our entrances and exits are not going to cross each other. Let's see. Oh, this isn't going to line up. How lame is that? I submit. It is very lame. That's all right. We'll just live with it. It'll be fine. Nobody's judging us here. All right, and I had another thought. Let's, instead of coming in this from the side, let's do this on the... let's have it exit going south here and north there. And the reason for that is that this station is huge. It's almost as big as the half of the science module here. So we're not going to be able to put like 4 stations that way. However, if we turned them 90 degrees, it may work out a little bit nicer with our science module setup. So I think that's what I'm going to try to do. And it shouldn't be a problem. Let's take that out. And let's grab a guideline here. Maybe something like that. And we'll take you down. I think we can actually bring that back a little bit. Something like that. So that station exit, we'll put a signal there because that's got a little ways to go. Okay, so that'll be our station exit. And as for you guys... that's where that needs to be. There were some comments on the roboports. I am aware we're going to need a lot more roboports. That is something that I do know. The reason why I'm not really worrying about it right now is that we're going to have... I don't want to just plaster roboports all over the place. Because I do want to, you know, save any energy that we can. Because this thing is going to be a bear when it comes to that stuff. Let's see, those will go in like that, and then we get a chain signal coming off right there. We can take this out now, and wrong book. Turn that into basically like a T-junction. All right, and then we can turn that 90 degrees and line it up with some rails over here. All right, and as for you, okay, that's going to be right there. This is going to be the biggest station by far. So if we line this up with the T-junction on that side, I think that'll work for us. And we can go ahead and build a stacker on this side as well. Something I'm not necessarily opposed to. The problem we have is that's going to be a little bit off. Let's see, I think that's pretty much as tight as we can make that corner. And we could bring you down right there and make that stackery. And that's going to expand this out a little bit. But, I mean, we're dealing with a huge giant train here, so I'm not sure how much of a big deal that's going to be. Turn that off. We'll make that a chain signal coming into the stacker. Entrance for the stacker. That's going to come on down, and that needs to feed into this. Like that. I'm not confident that's going to be long enough to be a stacker, even. That's certainly not going to work. We'll have to check that and make adjustments at some other point. Do I have rails? I don't have enough to measure it accurately. No, that's going to be chain, chain, chain. It doesn't need to be a chain. This is our station right here. Yeah, because that's shorter than this, so that's definitely not going to work as a stacker. If we want a stacker, we're going to have to expand this out a ways. So there to there needs to be the same distance as there to there, and I still don't quite think that's long enough. Let's go ahead and copy it out just a couple of more tiles, because I'd rather have it too long than too small. All right, we'll get some. We'll get some trains to test that out. Let's see. Can we count the number of tiles? Wait a minute. Is this right? Yes. That is 1, 2. That's 13. Actually, let's just count these. 69 tiles, and this is 74. All right, that even gives us a little bit of tolerance. I accept that wholly and fully. All right, we want to leave that track up there and leave the track down there as our spacers, and then all of our other stations we can build basically using this template. All right, and there may be some final corrections that we need to make. We'll double check whenever it's time to actually place it down for realsies. But for right now, I want to take a nice big blueprint of it. All right, and let's call it station bot iron ore. And I'm not going to name it. I'm just going to place it right there. I really just need the iron ore to look at so I can say, okay, that is the iron station. All right, and I think that is good for now. All right, let's see. We need to do a copper station. And a copper station is going to be a lot like the iron station, only it's going to be 2 cars shorter. Same general idea, though. Same general principle. It's just going to be a wee bit smaller. Do we want to keep this distance? I think we do. So let's grab... Well, wait a minute. Do I want to keep the size 16 train for the copper? I kind of do. We're not going to need it, but going a little bit bigger is certainly not going to hurt anybody. So let's take this up a bit. See, I would technically want to move that up to, like right there. That leaves 2 spots on the end there, 2 spots on the end there. Yeah, we just keep this the same size. And let's see, take you on out. And we could just leave everything else the way it is. And voila, we have our copper station. All right, we need to switch this over to copper, though. That's going to be 340 up, down. This should be the same. We'll take a blueprint of this, clear out the tracks in the middle, and then we can use that to copy that. Oops. Copy those settings to all these other chests. Let's just confirm, trust but verify. That's 9 warnings. Oh, it's on this corner right here. I've set the artillery train. We've had some pretty hairy situations down here. This wall blueprint is worked out really well in .17. In .18, it's in dire need of an update. I mean, it's fine. It's been working out okay. We haven't had biters in the base in a long time. But they can easily overwhelm this. The resupply station is what's keeping this thing afloat. And we are hitting pollution over here on these biters right in this area, so that's why we're getting those attacks there. I need to send the artillery train over there proper and actually take those guys out. We'll get to it. All right, I think that's pretty much it. One thing I haven't been doing is naming stations. So I think I want to do something like this right here, with an S meaning like science module, and 0 being which module it is. By module, I mean 5 modules. which setup that has the entry train stations, and then the other .0 is going to be which science facility it is. Since we're in the main station, we only need 2 digits for our version-y kind of thing. So I'm just going to call this S0. I'm going to call this item equals copper ore. And I think that's it. So the first one we lay down of these is going to be Science 1, S.1. And then this one will be S1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, etc. to 1.5. But I'm leaving this one as S.0 because of the lesson we learned in the beginning of this episode. Okay, so that's going to be S.O copper. We need to remember to do that. I'm sure we'll have to remember to do that for our iron setup. And you are going to be S.O. Oh gosh, what do we put on this to designate that as? Could throw a mining drill, but that would be more for out and about. What about like a train? Maybe a cargo wagon? Maybe a fish? Yeah, let's go item equals cargo wagon. Just to designate that a little bit differently, that is being supplied from the outside. And I think, as far as setting this outpost up, I think we're probably good. A little bit longer than it probably needs to be, but that is fine. And what did we do? We did a train stop, which is under logistics. We did a roboport for reasons that are unlikely to become clear to me, and a copper. All right. The next one is going to be a coal/stone station. We did get all those set, right? Yeah. So let's... Those are going to be size 4 trains. Just like that. We're not going to need a size 16 train. I'm pretty confident of that. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe we do 8? I could get down with some 8. I mean, going with kind of the idea, we would have a size 4 train. But I mean, we've got all the room anyway. We might as well try to take a little bit of advantage of it. Oh, that's gonna be different. Because that, if it's gonna be an 8 size train, we can go with 2 cars. So let's take all those out. You and you. And take that and move it up for the 2 cars. And even though those are size 4 trains, I think we're still using 2 locomotives with it. So that works for me. As far as this configuration, we're going to have to make a modification or two here. Let's start by grabbing this and placing it maybe like right here. Okay, and let's move you out of the way for just a second. And let's take out these roboports temporarily. Because we're going to need another station coming in. And that's going to be bringing in stone. So this one will be coal, kind of situated toward the bottom because the first chests are going to be coal. The top chests are going to be stone, and that's going to be something like that. This doesn't need to be that far up there, though. Yeah, let's put it like right there. And then we take this station and move it there. All right, that means we can take this. I'll just put that there for now. Trim all that off. Yeah, get rid of you. Okay, that should be good there. Can you hold 5 cars? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, no problem. Okay, that should be good there. We just need to reorient this stacker a couple of ways, actually. We're going to need room for roboports. Does that work? It kind of looks like it works. Totally doesn't work. That does. Can we fit a roboport in there? We can, and it is in the coverage there. We just need to make sure that this can merge in with this line, and it can't. Lame. Let's get rid of that. like that right there. So you will come in there, you will come in there. That is a stacker there. Da, 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 da. I think that works. All right, and this is a lot closer, but we still have to keep that distance there. You can merge into that line though. That's not illegal. That comes there, and that goes like that. All right, and we just have to get roboports going across like that. All right, that'll be stone. No, that's going to be coal. Coal is going to be the first cars. And you are going to be item equals stone. Item equals coal. And item equals stone. All right, so I think that's a pretty good start. We just have the fluid stations, and those should be fairly straightforward. Stop. Roboport for reasons, and the items, which is coal and stone. All right, that works. Yeah, boy, I've already gone a little bit long. I don't know, fluids are going to be pretty straightforward. It's just going to be tanks, and we pump into other tanks. I don't know how tricky that's going to be. Probably have to widen things up a bit, and that'll be about it. But thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I will see you in the next episode, where hopefully we can get the fluid station done and this whole station laid out. And I'll work on the time lapse and see if we can't get some of those resources snagged beforehand. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.